And I was like, no, 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 no. Hi, everybody. By the way, I wasn't going to stream today, but then Squeaks hit up the group chat, so I canceled one of my appointments. So basically, I'm trying to get my eggs frozen this year. Ooh, try to do it because, you know, we're getting older, and well, while I don't have a significant other yet to have my child with, I do have to like think about preserving my eggs. So we only have so many of them, and every year they're going bye-bye. So I'm in the process, right? So I had a consultation, and they're like, all right, Leslie, we're very excited to get this process started. I was like, yes, I would like to get my eggs frozen. And then they're like, all right, so when was your last pap smear? And I was like, oh, I never did that. And they're like, you've never had a pap smear? I was like, nope, no ma'am, I don't like that. She's like, you need to be doing all that. She's like, you need to do that. And I was like, oh, like I have to? Like nothing's wrong though. But she's like, you have to do that. We recommend a full pelvic exam. And I was like, pelvic exam? Anyway, so I told my therapist, and I was like, Karen, I'm scared. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm actually terrified. And she's like, Leslie, like girl to girl, woman to woman, it's not that bad. She's like, if anything, there's like a slight amount of discomfort. I was like, yeah, I don't know. So I had to go online. I was like, does a pap smear hurt? Blah, 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 blah. How much is this going to hurt? And people are like, it's like a mild cramp. There's a small amount of pinching when they start touching your cervix. I was like, cervix? I don't want to feel my cervix. But so I made the appointment, and then I canceled the appointment, and then I made the appointment, and then I went to cancel the appointment, and then I was like, no. I must do this for my eggs. Okay. So I had it this morning, and I walked in, and I was like, hello. And I said, I'm here for my pelvic exam. And then they're like, all right. And then when I was in there, she's like, the lady, there's like the doctor. And then before the doctor, this really nice lady let me in. She weighed me. She was like, okay. She asked me if I wanted to get my blood tested, all this stuff. And I was like, no. I only want what I have to do. Because I had the blood drawn. I've had that stuff kind of recently. So I know, I'm chilling. Female doctor. Yes, I had a female doctor. And I told her it's my first it's my first pap smear, and I'm scared. She's like, oh, the doctor, it's very routine. The doctor is so professional. And I was like, okay. Anyway, so she told me to get into this robe, and then, so I did. Anyways, it was kind of scary. There's like, I had to like put my feet up. I was like, and then, but the doctor came in, and she was so nice, and she walked me through everything. She's like, I'm touching your leg. And I was like, okay. She's like, now I'm touching. And I'm like, okay. And now everything looks good. I was like, okay. And she's like, all right. And now, I was like, oh, and then I forgot what it's called, the speculum. She's like, I'm inserting the speculum. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then she's like, all right, and now it's going to be 5 seconds on where I'm going to swab your cervix. I was like, okay, I don't know what this is going to feel like. And it was uncomfortable. I was like, ooh. And she was 1, 2, 3. And I was like, oh, God, 4. And I was like, oh, this is more than a cramp. I was like, 5, and we're done. And I was like, wow, that was okay. Anyway, so it was, we did it. I did it. I had my very first pap smear, and it wasn't that bad. It was a little uncomfortable. It was about, like, I think people were trying to make me feel like it was a little bit less uncomfortable than it actually was. It was kind of uncomfortable. Like, I was like, I was wincing. I was just like, I was kind of just breathing through it. I was anxious. But it isn't painful. It's just, it's like, it's right at the peak of uncomfortable and painful. So I would say describe it as it's uncomfortable, and it's almost painful. Like, it's almost, but it's not quite. It does feel like a deep period cramp. For those who know what a period cramp feels like, it just feels like an intense kind of pain period cramp for like a couple seconds, and then like a sharp pinch-ish feeling for like a second. Anyways, but I did it. I'm proud of myself. I was so happy. I took a selfie outside because I've been afraid of it for my whole life. So I've just ignored it and I just pretend like I don't need one. Like, oh. So I went to document my first. And so next up I have the ultrasound. So I don't know how that's going to go, but I had to cancel that one because Squeaks asked to play League. I was looking for any reason. And I was like, okay, I'll cancel it. So I moved it to next week, okay? But I'm going to do it. I just didn't want to do like back to back because my original plan was get them both over with, go from the papsmear to the ultrasound, but I think I'm just breaking it up. I was anxious for both. I was like, just do them together. But I canceled one, moved it to next week, did one, and now I'll do the other. And I'm less scared. Yeah, anyways. Back to back, I was like, I don't want all that. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's just too many things going up there. I don't need it. Not in one day. Not in one day. Let's wait for next week. Anyway, so this is your reminder to, you know, go get that uncomfortable, whatever, health exam. Just do it. It wasn't that bad. It was so slightly uncomfortable. And now I get ice cream. Oh, no. Yeah. Now I get to go to dinner with Ray's family tonight. And I'm very excited for food. So I'm going to treat myself and get lots of chocolate. Yeah. Yeah, it's a dub. Canceling for League is crazy. Dude, there's a tournament this Thursday. I take this AT&T Annihilator Cup very seriously. I will cancel my ultrasound for it. Okay? If people want to practice, I'm there. I need the team to know that I am there for them, especially because I feel like it's going around like me, like someone said like Leslie's the crappy guy. I saw someone on Twitter say that, and I'm not the crappy guy, and I need people to know that I locked in, okay? I locked in. And if I didn't stream today, I was going to be playing 2XKO off stream. I promise. That was my original plan. But then people were like, League? And I was like, yes, League. You know, I want to win. And I feel like we have a chance to get second place at this whole thing because if I can place top 10 in in 2XKO and Ludwig and Lily can do well, which I believe they will, I actually think 2XKO we could get first place. Minimum second place. Third place, I'm crying again. I don't want to cry, but the tears, they flow, okay? They happen, and I will cry again if I get third.